So we've talked about foundation. We've introduced you to the concept of the lower dantian and the concept in the Hindu or the Ashtanga tradition or yoga tradition about being bandha. And how simple it is, just a gentle lift. And there it is. We have the connection of bandha, which creates lightness in the body, helps us just sit quietly, which is what Patanjali has spoken about in the Yoga Sutras about yoga posture. He says the yoga posture should be steady, have a good foundation, be balanced, connected, and relaxed. So it's as simple as that. We want to be relaxed. We don't want to be stiff. We want relaxation. And this relaxation means we imbalance it. It can be movement. We want to limit the movement. We want to make it steady and really connected. Then we really connect to Mula Bandha. So the Mula Bandha is the perineum. And I'll talk about this at another time, but this connection of just pulling the perineum gives a little bit more rigidity. So the body becomes a little more stiff, but there's still movement that's allowed. The movement of chi can still flow. So this is important. As I said, we have these 7 steps, or 6 steps, the 7th being breathing. So in the breathing in Ashtanga, and which is talked about in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, is Ujjuyi breathing. So, and again, it should be simple, it should be easy, it should be a natural breathing, but it's controlled with the lower dantian. So it's controlled from here. This control here, as I showed you in the Uddiyana Bandha, draws back, lifts up, and supports the diaphragm. So this support of the diaphragm is what's important in the Ujjuyi breathing. The other thing that's good to note and good to understand, that when we connect to the lower dantian, just activate it, it also connects through connective tissue to the throat. And the throat just grips slightly, just constricts very slightly. And this is how the sound is produced. So in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, they say, constrict the throat to make the sound. Again, the Hatha Yoga Pradipika is written for yogis, for people who practice yoga. And they assume that you have a certain amount of knowledge. And so the knowledge they're expecting you to know about is this, the lower dantian, and its connection to the throat. So if you just connect the lower dantian, we produce this sound. If we, in turn, just do it from the throat, it creates tightness in the body, becomes very harsh. And it's not natural. But this is very natural. The lower dantian. So the process of breathing is, in Ashtanga, is lower dantian, connecting to middle dantian, supporting the diaphragm, and then just breathe. Okay. So now let's look at a couple of problems that can occur. So if I'm sitting and the alignment, as I said, the alignment on the 2nd step is the spine. So the movement of creating lower dantian will let the tailbone go downwards, bringing the skin from the back downwards. But it's also going to create a lifting of the middle dantian. So we have this lift and we have this lowering down, which actually brings the lower ribs backwards slightly. And in this way, this area here is soft. It's toned, it's active, but it's not hard. So it creates freedom, space. If the ribs go forward, everything changes. This slight movement forward has now moved the tailbone up. So it's lifting. The direction of energy is upwards, creating compression in the lower back. But what it's also doing is activating, creating the muscles in the lower abdomen, the abdominal muscles, to activate and contract. And now we try to breathe. It's much harder. There's no softness, forced. And it's no longer a connection to lower dantian. It's working from not even middle. The pranayama they use this for is agnasara. So it works from the navel. Very much in the navel, which creates a lot of heat in the body. So it has its uses. But Ujjuyi breathing comes from lower dantian, comes from water. So it's much cooler. So the alignment of the body is very important in understanding how muscles connect. Kick the ribs forward, automatically these muscles contract, and we change how we breathe. Come to lower dantian, tailbone goes down. This area is toned but soft, but allows freedom in which to breathe. Okay? So this is the basis of Ashtanga breathing. What we do combine it with, once we have this breathing, and we want to maintain this breath throughout the whole practice. And in fact, in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, they talk about Ujjuyi breath can be done all day, can be done anytime, walking, running, sitting, anytime Ujjuyi breath can be used. So there's no bad effects, no detriment from doing Ujjuyi breathing. And with enough practice of just doing yoga asana and maintaining these 7 steps, this breath will just happen naturally. So it may take time, but it becomes a natural breathing. I don't know if I do it when I sleep. I'm not sure. I tried staying awake all night, but that didn't work. So this is the breath we want to use, breathing. It is then combined with movement. So this is what we combine breathing with. And in the Ashtanga practice, we have this action of vinyasa. So vinyasa is movement. Translation is movement with the breath. And in the Yogamala, Pattabhi Jois has said, do not do yoga without vinyasa. So he's basically saying, do not do movement do not do your yoga practice without breathing. Don't hold your breath. And this aspect of what we do in the movement is this inhale, the movement of the hands going up. And coming down is in conjunction with the breath. So this is going to be the principle of vinyasa and the movement we create and the flow of the practice, which should be in any practice, whether Ashtanga or just yoga.